Hello and welcome to yet another session of Satish Speaks on Global Trade and Geopolitics, powered by NAVATIES, an international trade and engagement platform. This is your host Satish Kota. In the last few days, we all have been hearing a lot about the global maritime trade getting affected due to two major issues. First one is the Red Sea crisis and second one is the drought in the Panama Canal. Both of these issues have choked the important sea routes, affecting delays and increase in the logistics and shipping costs. But what is a choke point and why are these very important for trade? In this session, let us discuss the different choke points of the world which no other podcast or video covers. As we always say, we cover what others do not. Before we start into the details, can I request you to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon and give your comments. Your comments are important to us to create better content on the international trade and geopolitics. Choke points are sometimes also called as bottlenecks, are those critical maritime passages between two land masses like straits, canals, etc., where a ship is forced to reduce its speed and pass through a narrow piece of waterway, opening up for risks of attacks from enemies, terrorists, pirates, or even create a congestion to trade when blocked due to weather and climatic conditions, or any blockade that occurs due to political risk. So, while Red Sea crisis is a security risk due to terrorist attacks, Panama Canal drought is more of an environmental risk. So, in this session, let us try to understand different choke points in the world. Would you believe that there are about 25 choke points in the world that can affect the global maritime trade? For simplicity, we have divided them into three types, namely the 7 primary choke points through which most of the global trade happens, the 9 secondary choke points which are a strategic defense choke points or earlier were primary trade and choke points also, and the 9 possible choke points that may open up when a primary or a secondary choke points are blocked or due to any other reason. Now, as part of this session, we are going to discuss the primary choke points and a brief details about each of them. There are 7 important choke points that affect over 70% of the global maritime trade. In some videos, you may have seen the content creators using either 6 or 8, but we will consider 7 due to the current geopolitical issues that are ongoing in the world. While most of the choke points are concentrated in and around the Middle East region, we have one at the Far East and one at the Far West. The 7 choke points are Strait of Malacca. Strait of Malacca in the Southeast Asian region is between the countries of Malaysia and Indonesia, with the Malaysia's Malay Peninsula on the east and Indonesia's island of Sumatra on the west. The Strait of Malacca opens at the Indian Ocean near the Andaman Sea and ends at the Singapore between the Singapore Strait and the South China Sea. This choke point sees a traffic of 60% of the world trade. Strait of Hormuz. The Strait of Hormuz exists between the Gulf of Oman and the Persian Gulf, between the land masses of Iran on the top and Oman and United Arab Emirates in the south. The world's major oil passes through this choke point. Strait of Bab-el-Mandeb. The Strait of Bab-el-Mandeb divides the Asia with Africa between the countries of Yemen on the Middle East Asian front and Djibouti and Eritrea on the East African front. One end of the strait is the Gulf of Aden and the Red Sea is on the other end. About 12% of world's trade happens through this. Suez Canal. Suez Canal is the man-made canal in the Egypt which divides Asia with Africa. The canal has been in operation from the year 1869 and that connects Red Sea at the south and the Mediterranean Sea in the north. Suez Canal was formed to shorten the sea route from Europe to Asia, which earlier was all the way around the African continent. The Turkish Straits. The Bosporous and Dardanelles Straits together are called as the Turkish Straits. These two straits connect the Aegean and the Mediterranean Sea on the west with the Black Sea in the east. The straits pass through Turkey and divides Asia with European continent. This is a very strategic sea route for Russia and Ukraine. The Strait of Gibraltar. The Strait of Gibraltar is a waterway that is between the landmasses of southern Europe at Spain and Gibraltar with that of northern Africa at Morocco. The strait connects the Mediterranean Sea with the Atlantic Ocean. This strait is famous for illegal immigration from Africa to Europe. The last of the primary choke points is the Panama Canal. The Panama Canal is again a man-made canal by the US and is in the country of Panama. It connects the North American continent with the South American continent. The canal divides the Panama country by half and connects the Caribbean Sea with the Gulf of Panama. This is a very strategic choke point in the Americas region. This session is brought to you by NAVATIES, an international trade and engagement platform. The platform provides a one-stop place for new and existing exporters and importers and service providers in the international space. It is a support system for international trade information, export-import preparation, export-import marketing and sourcing, consignments and logistics support, and trade finance activities. More importantly, they work as a support system as well as a safety net when something goes wrong. So, all in all, it is an EXIM hub for exporters, importers, and all the vendors and service providers in the international trade. Now that you have understood the 7 primary choke points, in the next episodes we will discuss the 9 secondary choke points and then the 9 possible choke points. Before we end, can we once again request you to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon and give your comments to this session. Your comments is very important to us to create better content in the space of international trade and geopolitics. Thank you for watching or listening to this session, and until next session, this is Satish Kota signing off. Stay safe and stay healthy. Bye.